This is CW Sports.
This season, the PBA stars of today and tomorrow have staked their claim.
Graham Faw has won the 2026 Pete Weber Classic. Brandon Bonta, a perfect 300. Anthony Simonson has won the 2026 Illinois Classic.
But in this game, the oil writes the script. And this week in Indiana, a Hall of Fame giant stands in their way. The Albee 39, named for the Leisure State's own Mike Albee, a master of transition, power, and precision.
Oh my gosh, Mike Albee opportunistic as always with the key messenger strike.
It starts with the pattern. Governing motion, where it bends, how hard it turns, and every roll of the ball moves the oil. Our players now stand alone. 39 feet of shape-shifting questions remain with the Indiana Classic at stake. It's Championship Sunday on the CW.
History of the PBA Tour. It's hard to sum it up in just a few words, but a name encompasses it all. Chris Schenkel. Yes, the voice of pro bowling and the namesake of the most prestigious award a bowler can receive. Fort Wayne was his stomping ground. And as we look at this week's Stepladder, number 5, E.J. Tacket, the 4-time Chris Schenkel Player of the Year is going to face number 4, Ryan Barnes, the reigning Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year. Number 3, Timmy Tan, like Barnes, is looking for his first title. Number 2, Marshall Kent wants to add to his 7 trophies. And the number 1 seeded bowler, Boog Kroll, is riding a wave of momentum that he hopes helps lift that Indiana Classic trophy at the end of the day. Hello everyone, Rick Allen alongside Kyle Sherman. All right, Boog Kroll, number 1 seed. Big things come in little packages.
Yeah, Rick, he might have small stature, but Boog has one of the most powerful strike balls on tour, and he is absolutely electric on the lanes. He's going to be fun to watch today.
Yeah, and we were able to watch him back in 2024 at the playoff championships where he went up against Jesper Svensson, and Kroll needed a mark ace to strike to clinch the win. It was his 2nd career win and 2nd of the 2024 season. He won the PBA Delaware Classic as well. All right, that may be the undercard as far as that number 1 match when we get there. I think the biggest match that we're going to see today might be the very first one. Number 5 against number 4, Player of the Year versus Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, we have a guy, E.J. Tacket, who's the man. He's done almost everything. He's starting to chase records. We have a guy, Ryan Barnes, who's starting to get his resume started, get his career started with the first title today.
And you've got a 33-year-old going up against a 23-year-old. Let's hear from the 2 participants of match number 1. They're standing by with the 3rd member of our team, Taryn Hatcher.
All right, so Rick mentioned it, but we've got reigning Player of the Year, reigning Rookie of the Year. Ryan, I know you said that if you can get past this guy, you can get confidence that you can get past anybody. The question is, how do you get past this guy today?
Oh, I mean, we're going to have to bring our best. We know he's one of the best players on tour, so we're going to go one shot at a time and see what happens.
You feeling your best?
I'm feeling pretty good.
There we go. All right, EJ. Now, last week, I know when I talked to you after you bowled, we're not in the happiest of places, but you're essentially home. We heard the EJ chants before you guys started warming up. How are you feeling coming into this one?
I'm really excited to be able to bowl in front of my hometown crowd. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to get out there and try to throw some strikes. And I know it's gonna be a tough match. Ryan's gonna bring the heat, and so I'm gonna have to throw a bunch of strikes to be in contention and try to win this match.
Extra motivation to show, hey, the vet's got it.
Well, maybe a little bit. We always joke back and forth, but Ryan, he's a really good kid, and I'm glad he's out here, and I'm glad to see him doing well.
All right, well, we'll see what this one holds, fellas.
It is going to be a great match. We know that already. Let's look at the oil pattern, that hidden element they have to go against.
Yeah, Rick, this week we bowled on the 39-foot oil pattern. You're going to see players maybe start around 3rd arrow. You see the orange line there going pretty straight, but very quickly, guys are going to jump into that yellow line and even get a little deeper than that as this match progresses. There's a high-scoring oil pattern, and players are going to really get deep, create big curves, a lot of hook, and you're just going to see these players cover a lot of boards as these power players take the lanes.
Number 5 versus number 4. Let's let the bowlers introduce themselves.
I'm Ryan Barnes. I'm from Denton, Texas. I'm a national champion at Wichita State, and I'm your 2025 PBA Rookie of the Year.
I'm EJ Tacket, and I'm on the stepladder again this week from the number 5 seed, trying to run the ladder. I'm going to take home that championship in my home state of Indiana.
An interesting call here. Ryan Barnes obviously wants to finish on the right lane because he has chosen to start on the left lane. The high seed gets to make that choice.
Yep, looks like Ryan sees something on this pair where he's electing to finish on the right lane, so he probably likes that one a little bit more. So let's see how Ryan starts off this match.
With a strike. And it might be lopsided. Obviously, we are in Indiana, and that's where EJ Tacket is from. Actually, he's just a couple miles down the road. Calls this one of his home centers. So there's going to be a lot of people cheering for EJ Tacket here. But Ryan Barnes has got a select few that are going to be here cheering for him as well.
Yeah, he's got his group of buddies over there that they're going to try. I talked to him. They're going to try to rival this Fort Wayne crowd today.
Can anything shake the number 1 bowler in the world? The messenger picks up the 10.
What a start.
So now they will alternate back and forth. Again, Ryan threw the first strike on that left lane, and now EJ will go from the right lane to the left lane. We take a look at the score will be in the lower left, and here is EJ Tacket's arsenal.
Yeah, EJ's electing to throw the Max Thrill Hybrid. You see that 5.0 hook rating. This is a weaker bowling ball. These lanes have a lot of built-in friction, so he's throwing a weaker bowling ball to combat that.
And he also strikes on the left lane. A double to start for Tacket. We have been spoiled already in the first 4 events of the season with really impressive bowling and very high scores. It started with our first championship when we saw Brandon Bonta throw a 300. But to start off strike for these two, again, player of the year versus rookie of the year.
Yeah, Rick, it's going to be very important for both these players to get off the hot starts. I think the high scores are going to continue today, so it's important that you don't fall behind early.
And he strikes again. All right, as we have started off with doubles for both bowlers, if any of the pros on today's show bowl a perfect game, everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To pre-register, visit gobowling.com, and you can sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion.
Now, Rick, it looks like Ryan's electing to throw, and we've seen this a couple times this year, he's electing to throw a different ball on each lane. This left lane, he's throwing a 900 global exponent.
And he leaves the 10. So the reason for throwing a different ball on this lane?
Yeah, you know, even though it's a pair of lanes, each lane is its completely own thing. And it looks like this left lane, both players are seeing something a little bit different, as we see a little wrap 10 there for Ryan. 6 goes right around the 10, but he must see something a little bit different to where he wants to throw a different bowling ball in this lane.
And the spare ball, and throw that straight. So he takes out the 10, saw a little shake there.
Yeah, it's always
shaking the nerves off.
It's always good to get that first spare out of the way.
He looked over to his buddies, the 5 we're going to call them, guys that get Airbnb together. They hang out all the time. That's Brandon Bonta, CJ Petrin, TJ Rock, and Eric Jones are here cheering on Ryan Barnes. We talk about this being player of the year versus rookie of the year. It's happened before, and actually EJ Tacket was a part of it back in 2014 at the USBC Masters, where player of the year Jason Belmonte went up against, that thin EJ Tacket. As rookie of the year, it was Jason Belmonte, though, as player of the year that was victorious. It was Belmonte's 9th career title, 3rd major title. And of course, E.J. Tacket has gone on to win so much. 27 titles, 7 of those are majors. Working on 3 strikes. And he'll strike for a 4th.
Great shot there by EJ. Just barely getting the 10 out there, but it was enough. As you can see, probably the most powerful one-handed bowler on tour. And ball 6-pin just tips it enough and keeps that lead on Ryan.
All right-handed bowlers today in this event. Ryan Barnes, you mentioned, a 2-handed bowler. And a little high on the head pin, and he will leave at 4-7.
Yeah, you heard Ryan say there, a little slow. These players have to be so precise, even on a higher scoring pattern like this. He hit his mark even at the arrows and down lane, but his ball speed was off enough that it caused that ball just to hook a little bit too much and go through the face. He cleans up the spare nicely.
So now what's going through your head? You're going up against the #1 bowler. You see his father, Chris Barnes, Hall of Famer there, watching on. He said his dad's going to be helping him. Obviously, loves to follow in his father's footsteps. But what goes through their head right now when he goes up against the #1 bowler and he's got 2 spares?
Yeah, I mean, when there's so many strikes being thrown today, you're already at a little bit of a disadvantage already. You need to really come back right here with all 10.
Brooklyn, and he's going to leave the 6th.
Does that not carry?
All right.
A little bit of an errant shot there out of Ryan. That wasn't his best, and I talked to Ryan, and the key for him today is staying slow. He likes to get a little quick, and he likes his spine tilt, likes to get forward a little too quickly in his approach. And that, when that happens, those types of shots happen. So Ryan just needs to settle in here, start making some better shots. Unfortunately, EJ now smells blood in the water. He knows he has this lead. He knows Ryan's.
He's struggling. And
And
what EJ does best is he sees that opening and he pounces. So EJ is one who has said to me, I don't want to just win. I want to dominate. And if this is an opportunity for him to dominate, he's going to do it. And a big strike there for EJ Tacket.
And when your opponent's struggling, that's the exact shot that you want to throw right in there. 20 at the arrows, 5 down lane. I think this right lane's hooking a little bit more than this left. But right here, perfect shot by EJ. All 10 in the pit.
Coming up on the 6th frame now. And EJ Tacket, you see the max scores on the right, still with a perfect game in front of him. Barnes is max 256. Oh, and the messenger grabs the 10 pin, but the 7 stays.
Yeah, good break there for EJ. You see he's a little right at the arrows on this left lane compared to the right lane. You watch these players warm up, and this lane is just a little tighter down lane. So the ball doesn't want to quite go through the pins as well, and you're going to see pin action like this. Gets lucky there, knocking the 10 pin out, only leaving the 7. Very makeable.
And he will cover the spare in that 6th frame. So Tacket maybe opened the door just a bit for the reigning Rookie of the Year in Ryan Barnes, but he's going to have to get ready for strike after strike. The PBA on the CW is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. Quote today at progressive.com. By Ace, the helpful place. And by Tajín, a unique blend of mild chili peppers, lime, and sea salt. What's your way to Tajín it? And by the way, that's the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. It was home to NBA's Fort Wayne Pistons from 52 to 57. And in 57, they became the Detroit Pistons. How did the name Pistons come up? Well, the owner of that team was named Fred Zollner. He owned the corporation, the Zollner Corporation, which manufactured pistons. So that's how the Pistons were named. And we're back here inside of Pro Bowl West. And Ryan Barnes, a little bit of a hole right now, but an opening. Tacket just spared in the 6th. Ryan Barnes needs a strike. And he gets it. While they were here, the 5, including Ryan Barnes, visit a historic site here, Taryn.
Yeah, they headed out to Fort Wayne. Famous hot dogs. Look like the protein paid off there for Ryan Barnes. It's a Summit City staple for more than a century, serving Coney dogs up from its original location since 1914. By the way, CJ Petrin walked away as the group's Coney King, downing a total of 8 dogs. And I do want to mention the 5, a self-appointed name that we learned about a few hours ago from these boys. Previous to that, they were the Spare Bears for about an hour and a half before they landed on the 5, fellas.
They were never the Spare Bears. We had a lot of conversation about it. And that got voted out quickly. And this is not what Ryan Barnes wanted to see on that left lane.
Yeah, a shot that I think Ryan, I think he liked that more, but whatever. But this is a tough spare. He's going to have to hit the left side of this 2-pin, get it to deflect into the 10, and then somehow get something to come back. Hit the 8 over here. Very tough spare, but possible.
Oh, he did backup ball, and he picks it up. He did a backup ball and picked up the spare. Wow. Okay, now, a lot of people are going to say that might be the most incredible spare they've seen. And this one is a great one.
I mean,
right-hander throwing a backup ball.
I'd like to say you can't draw it up any better, but wow, that is unbelievable. That is absolutely textbook.
He's like,
holy cow.
Yeah, mind blown. Okay, and we're going to show you in just a little bit. That's not the biggest spare that Ryan Barnes has picked up over the last 2 weeks.
I think that's one of his skills. EJ stepping up here.
And he's going to leave the 10-pin.
You can see that ball gets a little wide down lane. These players are trying to get to about the 4, 5, 6 board. This one gets to about the 4 board. It comes back, just leaving a ringing 10. And in order to get that 10-pin out today, it's all about touch. It's all about getting your hand in the right spot with the right speed. EJ was just off a little bit there.
He covers. And so again, this advantage stays with EJ Tacket. But now a second spare for Tacket. And after what Ryan Barnes just did on that spare.
Yeah, a little momentum shift to Ryan with that spare pick.
And we see EJ Tacket was able to sneak ahead of Bill O'Neill by 14 pins in the elimination round. And he leaves the 10 again. Ring 10.
Yeah, you can see EJ a little confused on that one. That was a little better shot. EJ really doesn't make 2 bad shots in a row. That 6-pin wraps right around the 10 there. See, just a little confused. And that to me speaks that he might be thinking about a different ball here, because that was a really good executed shot as he spares the 10.
So he covers it. A little smile there out of EJ. Still has the advantage as far as max, but that means that Ryan has to start striking.
Yeah, Ryan still in a little bit of a pickle here. Down 31. Needs to throw a double. Stepping up in the 8th. Try to start cutting into this lead that EJ has.
And a strike. He needed it and got it. Okay, I mentioned the conversion of a spare. Let's take a look at our Bowl TV highlights. Last week at the Groupon PBA Illinois Classic, the Big Four. Take a look at this. He picks it up. Only once in the history of televised bowling has that split ever been covered. Again, that was the televised version by Walter Ray Williams Jr. back in 2005, the PBA Atlanta Classic. But That's how big of a pickup that is if you can pick up the big 4. He did it. And then we saw him pick up 2-8-10.
Yeah.
That was huge in this event.
This kid can pick up anything. Now, 9th frame, down by 31, max score of 236. The last shot in this lane, 2-8-10. Ryan's got to settle in, and he's got to believe in this shot right here and trust it.
And he strikes. So now Ryan Barnes has done all he can up through the 9th frame. There will have to be a falter out of the #1 player in the world in E.J. Tacket.
Yeah, great shot here. He was saying get off of it, got it to the right spot down lane, trusted it, and it carried. And Ryan's got a lot of fight in him, but E.J., best bowler in the world. He has the ball in hand.
And he strikes convincingly. Needs a spare strike to close out Ryan Barnes here in the 10th. Spare and a strike. And he strikes E.J. Tacket. Did you hear that? 1 down. He's already looking at running this step ladder. And with that strike, we just saw Brett Spangler bring in another ball for him.
Yep, gonna try out another ball here. The match is locked up. We heard EJ actually during the commercial break talk about adjusting the surface on his ball in case he won. EJ, just from his demeanor today, I mean, he's dialed in. He's looking to run this ladder. And you could hear him say 1 down. You know, he's not looking forward, but, you know, this man has made some shows this year, hasn't gotten into the winner's circle yet. And we're going to see a very dialed in EJ today.
So EJ has locked this one up. He's won the first match, and once again, it's Player of the Year that is bettering Rookie of the Year. And he'll actually pick up the spare. They congratulate each other. Next up, it's the Malaysian sensation. Yes, Timmy Tan. But first, we're going to check in with Anthony Simonson. And he was last week's winner. So Timmy Tan, looking forward to the next match. Anthony Simonson on the other side of the board. Yeah, that's him on the forklift. Well, the best bowlers from the United States, led by E.J. Tacket, are going to take on Jason Belmonte and the top international players in PBA. It's USA versus the world on Saturday, April 4th. Now, we've had a little bit of fun. The first match is going to be E.J. Tacket versus, yes, that's right, Belmo. And so we started with a video simulation. The match stays neck and neck into the 7th as Belmo strikes to keep the tie. Yes, right there. But in the end, Belmo left the door open for EJ in the 9th, and Tacket finishes the 10th with a strike, giving the USA captain the victory. That was 258 to 256. Yeah, and again, that's a video simulation. We understand. You can take to the lanes with your favorite pros. PBA Pro Bowling 2026 is available to download right now on all major gaming platforms. So let's take a look at the rosters for USA and the world. And added recently, as a matter of fact last week, Anthony Simonson for the USA and Graham Faw for the world. So let's hear from the newest member of the USA squad and the star of Born to Bowl. He's calling in with Taryn Hatcher.
Anthony Simonson, no doubt, going to play a big part for Team USA. He's also a big character in HBO's 5-part documentary series, Born to Bowl. Let's take a little peek at what that documentary series has in store.
Bowling is such a unique sport.
Who do you think you are? I am!
I'm the Bob Ross of bowling.
You got to pick the hair out. These guys, they're trying to just make a living.
Dollar.
I got some W-2s. Too bad the money didn't equal the W-2s.
There's only one greatest of all time.
One more for the win.
He's going to get punched in the face.
Simo, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't start off by asking, how do you feel about the trailer ending with you saying, quote, he's going to get punched in the face?
I think it's a good lead-in to episode 2. I'm looking forward to watching it. I've yet to see it. However, I did live it. So I have a little bit of an idea what's going on, but I'm really looking forward to following the rest of this docuseries as it comes out.
Well, on that note, what do you hope people get to see from this? Because we get a peek into everybody's real life and what it goes into that in order to be able to maintain this competitive run bowling. And then we also go into all of the details of what it takes to be competitive at these tournaments. So what do you hope people take away?
For me, I think the biggest thing on a personal side is just you're going to see a tale of two different people, especially me. A pretty fierce competitor on the lanes and a completely different person off the lanes. It's just nice that everybody's going to get a little bit more insight of what we as professionals have to do week in and week out to make a living out on the PBA Tour.
Well, and Simo mentioned he doesn't exactly know what's in store for his episode, which is coming up here. So let's take a little preview peek at what's coming in Simo's episode of Born to Bowl.
This is one of my secondary homes, basically. Get some side money, some pocket money. I think bowling's kind of a unique sport where you don't need to be the strongest guy in the room, or not exactly the most athletic.
But you certainly are passionate, Anthony Simonson. Thank you for opening up your life for this documentary, and thank you for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for having me, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Oh, we're going to enjoy. Born to Bowl, again, an HBO original 5-part documentary series following the stars of the PBA Tour from A24 and executive producer Ben Stiller. That continues tomorrow with episode 2 at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. Number 3 seed, Timmy Tan, is ready to go. When we return, he takes on EJ Tacket. And getting the crowd fired up here in Pro Bowl West is DJ James Jackson once again. And the crowd having some fun here at Pro Bowl West in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yeah, clapping their hands, getting ready for this matchup. Again, EJ Tacket versus Timmy Tan. Let's let Timmy Tan introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Timmy Tan. I'm from Klang, Malaysia. We produce some of the best bowlers in the world.
And Timmy Tan, the higher seed, once again, the higher seed has chose to bowl first. So Timmy Tan will start on the left lane and bowl that first frame. Tan Chai Churn, by the way, is Timmy Tan's name. A great story about how he became Timmy Tan. And he's going to leave the 10 pin.
Pretty good opening shot there for Timmy. See, this ball just comes a little behind the 10 pin. 6 just lays in the gutter flat there. He didn't quite get that one as far right as he wanted to, because all that friction's to the right. When they start missing their target in and to the left, the ball doesn't want to come off the spot as hard and drive through the pin. So, but an okay shot there. He controlled the pocket. Now needs to stay clean.
And not what he wanted to see. Misses the single pin and an open frame to start for Timmy Tan.
Yeah, Rick, this is just all nerves right here. Remember, this is only Timmy's second TV appearance. You know, he probably has maybe only missed 1 or 2 10 pins all week of bowling, but getting on TV, the adrenaline's going, trying to settle in. It's a whole different environment. Now, this is not what you want to do, is give EJ an early break.
Will they capitalize on it? He leaves the 10 pin also.
And Rick, it looks like that was a ball change there for EJ, as really very similar pin action to what we saw Timmy's last shot. 6 just kind of lays in there, flat 10. And that's what these players, they have to create big angles. But in order to get the ball to drive through the pins, that's the trick right now for these players as the lanes transition.
Covers the spare for Tacket. And he'll move to the left lane for his second frame. EJ Tacket, we mentioned, runs a bowling center, Easy Bowl in Bluffton, Indiana, just up the road. And not good at all for EJ Tacket. A big split for EJ.
Yeah, this is a split you do not see very often here.
2-7, 9-10.
2-7.
Excuse me, 3-7, 9-10.
3-7, 9-10. There you go. He's going to try to hit the right side of the 3-pin here. Hopefully it deflects over into the 7 and somehow also collects the 9-10. But he can make this.
Lofts it out there, and he gets the 2 in the middle, but leaves the 7-10. So an open frame for EJ Tacket, which has to give a little bit of confidence back to Timmy Tan.
I feel like you have to stay. I can't move left. Move tempo. Give me a good one. You can't move left a bit yet. Right. Because there's not enough hook over there.
Yeah, if you're Timmy, that's it. That relieves a little bit of pressure with the missed single pin. Now, looking to bounce back with a good shot here on this right lane.
And there's the strike he was looking for on that right lane. Well, I mentioned Tan Chai Churn is his name, but Taryn, he goes by Timmy Tan. How come?
He goes by Timmy Chan because when he was younger, a friend told him, if you want to make it, you need to have an English name, and then told him Timmy is a good name. So Timmy didn't even get to really pick out his name. It was picked out by one of his friends, and he just said he liked the sound of it. But then his parents showed up to a tournament he was bowling in. They were looking at the leaderboard. They didn't see their son anywhere because they had no idea that he was going by the name Timmy Tan, because that's not what they named him, Rick.
Well, we now know him as Timmy Tan, and again, as Kyle mentioned, just his second television appearance. He leaves the 2-pin. So, interesting delivery for Timmy Tan.
Yeah, we take a look at Timmy's side profile here, 5-step delivery, but this is what we want to look at. Look at this backswing. It is completely perpendicular with the approach. Probably the highest backswing on tour. And then he's able to get his hand right under the ball at the release. Great wrist action. I mean, such a beautiful release.
He told us he wanted to bowl on the PBA since he was a kid and was watching videos as a kid growing up. He picks up that single pin. Watching videos of Chris Barnes and Tommy Jones, he said, I must have been watching him from the wrong angle because I thought they had that really high backswing.
Yeah, especially Tommy's known for that high backswing, but I think Timmy outdoes him there. So
EJ trying to focus once again after the open frame. And he strikes. Well, every call is real, and every second counts on Police 24/7. You don't want to miss the high stakes action this Wednesday. Is at 8/7 Central only on the CW. EJ after that strike in the 3rd Now wants to get a little bit of momentum. You see, still has the advantage in the max score, just by 5 over Tan. Does the messenger get it? It does! Oh, boy.
It wasn't the craziest messenger, Rick, but it was just enough. EJ here, ball coming back. It's a little slow, hit it to the 10, just like a little meow.
Now, those pins, for people that aren't bowlers, those pins are heavier than what you probably think. Was that a cat sound?
That was a cat sound,
okay.
Yes.
And Timmy strikes. All right, let's take a look at In the Bag, brought to you by Storm. The standard for those who demand the best. We are the Bowlers Company.
Let's take a look at Timmy's arsenal here. He's throwing the Gremlin Tour X. You can see that hook rating 7.5. It's a middle of the road bowling ball, and it's built for control. Oh, he's making a ball change on this left lane. He looks like he's going to a phase 2 pearl, and he's hoping when he gets the ball to the right here that this ball responds much more off the friction.
A little deeper into the pocket.
Yeah, this left lane is tough for these players right now. That's why they're all electing to finish on the right lane. That break point, if it gets too long and to the right, it has no chance of coming back on this lane. You see Timmy, a pretty good shot here. I think he liked the way he executed, but it just gets a little too far down lane, and that's what this left lane is susceptible to doing, leaving the 2-4-8 now. Makeable spare, but tricky when trying to hook it on a medium pattern like this.
And he picked it up. You were a little nervous about it. I knew he had it.
I guarantee you off his hand, he did not think that he picked that.
Yeah, a little smile on his face there as he sat down, too.
Yeah, and this is not textbook. This is not how we would draw it up, but gets lucky there, and that's why this spare is tricky, especially when you don't have good control of what the lane is doing. Hooking across that spare on this pattern is tough. Now, EJ looking to kind of extend his lead here with a strike in the 5th.
We mentioned, as EJ strikes, that this is just the second career TV appearance for Timmy Tan. Under the lights, the crowd on either side, there is so much pressure on a bowler when you get into this situation.
Oh, and not to mention, you got to bowl the best bowler in the world right now that hardly ever gives you a chance. And if you want to win out here on this tour, especially when you're facing a Hall of Famer like EJ, when he gives you an opening, you have to take advantage of it. And EJ did that early with that split, but that might be the only opening Timmy gets for the rest of this match.
Uh-oh, apparently works for EJ. What a shot. You're right. Timmy Tan, he left an opening for EJ Tacket. Tacket pounced on it and has the lead as we go to the halfway break. DJ James Jackson's got the crowd here clapping in Pro Bowl West in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as we continue on with this, the second match with EJ Tacket up against Timmy Tan. And right now in a little bit of a hole is Timmy Tan, as you see the scores, and an open frame to start for Timmy Tan, but that second frame for Tacket also an open frame after a split 6. And a little high on the head pin. He's going to get the 10 to fall, but the 3 stays up.
Great break there for Timmy, only leaving a spare, but unfortunately, as we can see, the ball goes high here, leaving the 3-10, and the 10 just barely falls over, but Timmy's starting to get in a position here where he needs strikes. He needs to throw good shots in the pocket, and the right lane is supposed to be his good lane. So it's a really, really tough blow for him.
He mentioned in Malaysia how bowling is so big. And he picks up that 3-pin. Malaysia has had Timmy Tan on their team since he was 18, and you look at a few of the things that Timmy Tan likes: pickleball, golf, Stephen Chow movies, Blackpink, as far as artist, and winning the 2025 World Cup with Malaysia, one of his highlights in bowling. He travels the world, so he says that, you know, when he's not here on the PBA tour, he's spending most of his time all throughout Asia bowling. Ring 10.
Much better shot on that lane for Timmy. That was actually another ball change going to a storm. What was that? As we see, gets this ball out to about 2 down lane. He liked that one. Going to a storm, I think it's IQAI. That ball responded much more off the friction, but that left lane's been the tricky one to not only get to the pocket, but strike.
And he got the 10 that time. Well, just a reminder that all our stats come from Lane Talk. And if you want to take your bowling to the next level, head to lanetalk.com. I follow him all the time during the week as far as qualifying rounds. And that's one of the other things we have got to talk about. The qualifying and the elimination and how these bowlers get here is unbelievable. I watch it on Bowl TV each week. Wrap 10.
Yep. That's what these players are going to battle today. But yeah, on Bowl TV this week, you could tune in, take a look. I mean, we watched EJ and Hall of Famer Bill O'Neill battle it out the last 3 games of qualifying, where Bill O'Neill actually averaged 250 his last 3 and fell out of the show. These guys were so dialed in. It was so fun to watch.
It really was. And he picks up that spare. So a lot of pin action and maybe a little bit of luck for EJ.
You got to have it when you want to win shows, no matter how good you are. Little slow messenger 10 there. This one, he thought he missed a head pin, but gets a little light mixer, and that's when you know that your ball is doing the right thing. When you can get those off hits, you can relax as a bowler and start stringing strikes together. And that's a lot of the difference we see between Tacket and Tan right now as we enter the 8th frame. EJ up by 26.
Wow, this lane is bad.
And this is 4 through the middle here. EJ misses just a little bit.
Wow.
Inside of target, down lane.
Really
He thought that was going to hold a little bit, but it rips loose, only getting 4. And this gets interesting. That's really bad count on a spare. This is going to more than likely be an open for EJ. And now we have a match.
Yes, we do. You see what it does to the max score. Now, Timmy Tan, if he would strike out, could beat Tacket by 4 pins. Marshall Kent waiting in the wings, the number 2 seed. Again, Timmy Tan looking for his first ever PBA Tour title. He knows what he has to do. And the kick gets the strike.
Huge shot there for Timmy. As he's looking to take a re-rack. This is good lane, the right lane, about 20 at the arrows. Trusts it out there, gets it back, gets the pin action, and little fist pump there. Now,
the left lane.
That was all fun and games. But this left lane has been the tricky one for all the players. You heard EJ on his last shot say, wow, this lane is bad. These players are feeling like they don't have a lot of miss room. Even when they get to the pocket, they can't carry. So this is a huge double for Timmy right here. Big shot. He absolutely has to lock in and commit right now.
Oh, leaves the 9-pin.
What an absolutely brutal break for Timmy right here. I mean, he's been lost on this lane, and you can't really throw it any better in this. In this moment right here, he loves it, and this ball just drives right by the 9-pin.
So I want to look ahead, though, because strategy could come into play here in Timmy Tan's favor. He bowled first, which means that E.J. Tacket has to end on this left lane, and E.J. Tacket is just voiced he does not like this left lane at all. That new cases, I'm sorry, I'm quick.
That is why it's an advantage to be the higher seed and be able to pick the lane that you want to end on.
So EJ's coming up next. New cases, new twists, and a partnership like no other. Don't miss an all-new episode of Wild Cards tomorrow. That's 8/7 Central right here on the CW. Here comes E.J. Tacket. 9th frame. And he strikes. E.J. Tacket now goes into the 10th frame on that left lane. And remember the last time he had split 4.
Yeah, just gets to 10 the fall there. The ball's not quite driving like he would want to. These lanes they're getting a little ugly for these players, and they're gonna have to battle this transition. Now EJ needs to strike in 8 pins to shut out Timmy on his bad lane. Last time up, he got 4.
Right. Yeah, so nothing is a guarantee for the Indiana native as he steps up here for his first ball in the 10th frame. And he strikes. 8 pins and he locks them out. And a big show of emotion there for EJ.
Yeah, he knew that was the big one. Much better shot in this lane. Got to about 4 down lane. Right, gets the love on the 7-pin.
Asking for a re-rack.
Job's not finished though here. Still needs to get good count. I mean, he, in the back of his mind, he got 4 one time on this lane. So he's still thinking, all right, settle in.
One more shot, he said.
Come on. One more shot here.
2 open frames for E.J. Tacket. Very uncharacteristic. And he gets the 8 pins. 9 of them will do it. And E.J. Tacket has now blocked out Timmy Tan. And so E.J. Tacket makes another step up the ladder. He'll grab that extra pin.
Good ball, Timmy. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, great week for Timmy Tan. Love watching this guy ball on TV, and he's going to be back.
So twice before, E.J. Tacket has ran the ladder. Back in 2012 at the Japan Cup and 2024 the World Championships. He's won his 2nd match, and now he will face Marshall Kent, the number 2 seed here in Indiana.
Thank you for your service.
And welcome back as we get ready for the Go Bowling halftime show here in between match 2 and 3. And we're back at the desk. That's right, the crowd's loving it here in Fort Wayne, and we are too. All right, Kyle, so we have seen some interesting bowling out of the number 1 bowler in the world in E.J. Tacket. I want to take a look at the frame of the game. So brought to you by Progressive Insurance as we look back at this 10th frame.
Yeah, EJ here on this lane. Got 4 and 6 on 2 prior frames. steps up in the 10th when he absolutely needs it. The first one was huge, ends up getting 9. The next ball to shut out Timmy. I mean, that's what Hall of Famers do right there.
All right, what about him in the left lane? So he's got to keep bowling on it. It's not going to go away. How do you conquer that left lane?
Yeah, it's a little tricky. I heard him say that the fronts are starting to go. What we mean by that is there's a little friction building up. So he's going to try to give it a little bit of loft, and I think that's going to be the adjustment that's going to help him shoot a little higher scores.
All right, our third match is coming up, and the second-ranked bowler is ready. That's right, Marshall Kent versus E.J. Tacket. It's next here on the CW. Number 2, Marshall Kent has 7 tour titles, and we go back to 2024 and the Tournament of Champions. That was in Ohio. The number 4 seed, Marshall Kent, was able to defeat the number 1 seed, Anthony Simonson, 205-201, to claim his first major PBA win. That was his 7th career PBA title. And he has told us that he will start on that left lane as the higher rated bowler. As we see the matchup once again, Marshall Kent versus E.J. Tacket, and let's let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Marshall Kent from Yakima, Washington, and I'm on the hunt for title number 8 today here in Indiana, so I can go buy myself some new fishing gear.
Well, he's been having some fun. Actually, the Airbnb that they're in, he said, has a pond in the back, and so he's been back there fishing and has already caught a couple largemouth bass. And again, he has elected to start, which means, and maybe he was watching, that puts E.J. Tacket on the left lane for the 10th frame.
Yeah, these bowlers, they're avoiding this left lane like the plague. If they have a choice, they're going to finish on that right lane. Let's see how Marshall attacks this tricky left lane.
Oh, great messenger there. Start with a strike on that left lane. Again, it's the Mike Albee 39 pattern, and we talk about Mike Albee, one of the greats of Indiana. 19 tour titles, 8 majors. But a great first ball for Marshall Kent.
Yeah, head pin goes off the sidewall, annihilating the 10 pin. Great way to start your opening match.
The right frame, or excuse me, the right lane has been fairly good for E.J. Tacket. And it stays that way on his first frame.
Yeah, Rick, these two players, very familiar with each other. In fact, they're doubles partners. EJ and Marshall, they bowl the Roth-Holman doubles tournament with each other every year. They won it back in 2022. So, you know, for Marshall, I think it gives him a little bit of comfortability bowling with, you know, against a good friend. Although that good friend is one of the best players in the world.
Well, you mentioned good friend. That good friend just had his second strike, then he struck on that left lane. Really good friend. Marshall Kent was in EJ's wedding, so we're talking very good friend, these two. As you mentioned, doubles partners.
Yeah, EJ here looks like he's going with the strategy of a different type of bowling ball on each lane. That was the mode of thrill on the left lane, a very weak bowling ball. Now Marshall looking to stay with EJ here.
Marshall had a really big win. His first career win came in the Kingdown International Open, which was actually in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He had a great story, Taryn, didn't he, about going to Saudi Arabia?
Oh, Rick, I've never heard a story like this in my life. He said they got there was a dress code, the slacks, the shirts you were assigned, and he gets out to the lanes, and there's 2 guys bowling a few lanes down from them, sweatpants, sweatshirts, and as the day goes by, he finally works up the nerve to kind of ask, hey, what's with those 2 guys? Well, come to find out that those 2 fellas could wear whatever they want because they were, in fact, 2 Saudi princes, one of which Marshall got to know a little bit over the years as he played overseas because the guy would travel. Let's see what Marshall does here. And a strike there. Because as Marshall would travel from tournament to tournament overseas, so would this one Saudi prince who loved bowling. And how did he know it was the same Saudi prince? Because that Saudi prince would send his pink Lamborghini to every single stop that he went to go attend. So Marshall and the Saudi prince with a pink Lamborghini, a tale as old as time, Rick.
And they were able to bowl in sweatpants. I thought it was great. Marshall was like, man, I didn't know why those guys got to bowl in sweatpants. EJ fires back with a strike, and both bowlers stay perfect through 3 frames.
Yeah, EJ there throwing a super sport on the right lane, throwing the max thrill on the left lane. The ball on the right lane has a little bit bigger core, bigger engine. It's going to read the spot a little bit more. As you see the side profile of EJ here, the best release in the game. And this ball here, a little bigger core, it's going to come off the spot a little harder. On the left lane, this ball a little cleaner.
And another strike. 4 in a row for Tacket.
Yeah, I think they figured him out, Rick.
Oh, you just jinxed it. Did you just say they figured it out?
It feels like there's more strikes thrown in this match than the last game, but you know, you give these guys a chance to think it over a little bit. They solve problems pretty quickly. Now, Marshall needs to stay with EJ. He's looking to win again on the PBA Tour. You know, Rome was not built in a day, and neither is winning this title. He's got to stick with them. And he gets the love.
He got the love, all right.
Yeah, it looks like Marshall took a big step left here compared to the other competitors. He's inside 4th arrow. This is what we thought was going to happen. He's getting away from all the other transition, and Marshall has enough power to really get left, really separate his angles. And this is also when Marshall bowls at his best, when he can be aggressive with his hand. Throw a big hook, he can get comfortable on the lanes.
His turn is about like the hairpin turns at Martinsville, and that's what the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series takes on the paperclip at Martinsville Speedway. Again, that's Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, only on the CW. And he gets the left lane as well. Marshall Kent stays perfect through 5.
Great shot there for Marshall. Ball comes in a little light here. The 7-10 was standing there for a second, but again, a little love on the 7-pin. This is huge for Marshall. When he can get out to a good start and get comfortable mentally, Marshall really has success. Him putting the pressure right back on EJ, absolutely huge for his momentum.
Didn't like it. Brooklyn, and he'll leave the 5-pin in the 5th frame.
Nice
This one
try.
could get costly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're going to see some hands go up here again.
There they are.
Very uncharacteristic shot there for EJ. And you can see when you miss in a little bit, I mean, I know there's a lot of strikes, a lot of high scores, but when you miss in, that ball just rips left.
And he picks up the 5.
Even though these players make this pattern high scoring and seem easy at times, I guarantee you it's not. They have to have good feel. They got to trust it.
Gee whiz.
He just gave us a gee whiz.
Yeah.
Is that an Indiana term? Gee whiz.
That deserved a gee whiz.
Yeah. All right. He knows Marshall is bowling very well and did not want to open the door for him. Now on this left lane, he strikes.
So EJ Tacket with a spare in the 5th, fighting against his friend Marshall Kent, who will advance. Stay with us.
We look back to the 2025 USBC Masters in Strobel Arena at Thunderbolt Lanes, and Gary Haynes, the #1 seed, had to win one match versus Anthony Simonson. Well, he lost the first match. Then they went to the second, and then they had the roll-off in the 9th and 10th frame, and it ended up being Gary Haynes' win. That's next Sunday on the CW. It's our 3rd major of the season. Make sure to join us for Championship Sunday. Rick Allen, Kyle Sherman, and Taryn Hatcher with you here in Indiana as we are halfway through this third match. And we see Marshall Kent taking a big breath there before he gets ready for his sixth frame. And he knows that EJ just came off a spare strike, so an opening for Marshall Kent. And he is going to leave the 2-pin.
Yeah, this ball just got way wide of target down lane. But this is a little bit of the miss that Marshall is okay with, because he has to trust the ball getting way out to the right for it to come back. This one just amped it up a little too much. Didn't quite either threw it too hard or just didn't quite get enough hand on it to get back. But just leaving the 2-pin, he's okay with that. But now we got a tie game.
Got the spare. We mentioned that Marshall enjoys fishing. He also enjoys hunting and golf. One of my favorite movies. I don't know about you, but Caddyshack, I think it's one of the greats. Warren Zeiders is an artist that he is a big fan of, and winning that 2024 Tournament of Champions. One of the highlights for Marshall Kent in his bowling resume. Again, 7 titles, 1 major. And he strikes on the left lane. So now you see both bowlers with a max of 279.
Straight for Marshall Kent, he leads by 10 hits.
Yeah, Marshall here, almost a little 4.5 step delivery, just barely moves that left foot. Extremely powerful player, and Marshall's a guy when he gets comfortable, when his physical game feels good, he can strike with the best of them, especially this guy right here.
EJ will strike on the right lane. Crowd very loud for EJ here.
There you go.
And the crowd, well, at least the ones that want to get tickets from EJ, they've got to go through his wife. And so Natalie fields all of the calls. They have 12 seats here just for family and friends. And EJ wanted to stay focused. So that's one of the situations that they know in the Tacket family. And he leaves the 7-pin on this left lane.
Yeah, that's a common hit that we've seen on the left lane. As you see, EJ thought he threw that pretty good. The last few times the 7-10 has been flirted with. That time just doesn't get the love on the 7-pin.
Picks it up. And now you see the max.
It was so good.
258 for Tacket, and Kent with 279. So once again, Marshall Kent has an opening.
Yeah, it's a big shot. Needs to keep his lead on EJ right here. You don't get a lot of openings from the best player in the world. He has a good idea of what this lane is doing, and right now it's just all about execution.
Great ball there for Marshall Kent. He strikes in the 8th and will come up to see if he can put the added pressure on EJ Tacket with a strike here in the 9th.
Yeah, Marshall having a little bit more success than the players in the last match. And sometimes a fresh perspective, just coming in and seeing what wasn't working. Marshall electing to make a big move left compared to the other players. And when you're on the right side of it, sometimes that's all that needs to happen. Right now, he's just got to believe he can throw this one.
High on the head pin, but a great strike for Marshall Kent. Yeah, tap yourself on the back.
Can't throw him any better than that, Rick, right there. Beautiful shot here from Marshall. Hand wraps around it beautifully. Ball roll was great. Absolutely splits the 8-9, stays solid. I mean, what a shot in a pressure moment to keep his lead on EJ. Now, EJ in a spot where down 21 going into the 9th and 10th, He has to strike out to force Marshall to show up in the 10th frame.
Starts right here, and he gets the strike in the 9th. He is going to go down swinging. So now he'll go to the left lane, and as you mentioned, he's going to need 3 strikes.
Yeah, has to throw at least a double to realistically, knowing that Marshall is lined up here. This left lane been the tricky one for him. Last shot through a good one, left the wrap 7. Let's see if he can get all 10 down here. First shot in the 10th.
He does.
He's not going to go down without a fight, Rick.
E.J. Tacket, one of the toughest competitors in the history of the PBA. 27 titles, 7 of those majors, calling for a re-rack here. The 2 majors that he's missing, the Players' Championship and the Masters. Deep breath there out of E.J. Tacket.
EJ been bowling great all day, running through his opponents, making great adjustments, great shots when he needs it. And right now he's thinking that he needs to strike on this ball right now to continue his tournament life.
High on the head pin.
It worked so hard on this lane, it was going to happen sooner or later.
Marshall doesn't want to show any emotion right now.
See some emotion coming out of EJ there. He wanted to win so bad in front of his home crowd. This lane, the tricky one, he felt like he really had to create it on this lane. It wasn't easy. And eventually a little bit of an errant shot. Gets 6 there.
A 242 for Tacket. Right now, Marshall Kent needs 8 pins. 8 pins to knock out the #1 bowler in the world. And his friend. He got 8 pins, but not the easy way.
Yeah, lucky to clip the head pin on that one, but does defeat EJ.
Not the way he wanted to finish this game.
No, it's not going to build any confidence for him, but he threw a lot of good shots this game in the 250s. Great score.
Marshall Kent advances. He will take on the #1 seed. David Kroll has been hanging out in the back, warming up, getting ready for this battle. 1 game away from the Indiana Classic title. It's Book Kroll and Marshall Kent coming up. It has been another amazing event, and we see that's David Small on the left there, and some of his folks that help him put together these great events, Josh Solomon and Taylor Rossi. This is event number 107 at one of David Small's properties, and so he has been wonderful for the PBA. Well, the Born to Bowl HBO original 5-part documentary series continues tomorrow, and they are following the stars of the PBA Tour. Again, that's from A24 and executive producer Ben Stiller, continuing tomorrow with episode 2 at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. Well, having a microphone on during these matches has its pros and cons. Just ask Simo.
I don't think I have a favorite thing to say, but there are some not appropriate things that come out of my mouth. I would say if there's any bowler that's answered this question that says they don't talk to themselves, they just told the biggest lie on camera.
Well, He is a lot of fun. Let's hear from Marshall Kent. He's standing by with Taryn Hatcher.
Well, Marshall and I were talking off camera before. I asked him if he watched the guys before him struggle on the left lane. You said yes, you could see it. Was there anything you saw or felt there on that left lane?
Personally, no. Actually, I liked that lane better. So I think looking back, I probably would have made a different decision. But you know what, we made it through, and that's all that matters. And we got one more game to go, so we'll just see what happens.
All right, left lane preference. Who would have thought that after some of these matches, Rick? Good luck.
Thank you.
The final match is coming up, and all smiles right now for Boog Kroll. Yeah, that's right, Boog. His mom said he was a cute little booger when he was a kid. That's how he got the name. It all comes down to this. One game, one match to determine the winner of the Indiana Classic. The crowd has been waiting. The trophy has been waiting. And now the two are ready to take on each other. As we take a look between the arrows, comparing these two bowlers, close in age, years pro, very similar. 7 titles for Marshall Kent, 2 for Boog Kroll, and a major for Marshall Kent. They were getting a few warm-up shots, and Boog was actually asking the crowd to get behind him.
Better loose.
His last warm-up throw.
What?
And Boog has said, Marshall, you will start. So the higher rated bowler gets to choose which one bowls first. Top seed in the Stepladder finals. We look back on the years. 4-9 in 2024, 9-4 a year ago, and before last week it was 0-3. But after Simo was able to get the win, now it's 1-3 as far as top seeds in a Stepladder final. Marshall Kent will bowl first on that left lane. We go all the way back to last week, and Marshall Kent actually went to a heavier bowling ball to start last week. Went to a 16-pound ball. Was bowling with that, thinking that was the fix. Decided after the first day it wasn't. Went back to a 15-pound ball. And starts with a strike in that left lane. So now in this battle, it is Boog Kroll, the #1 seed. Let's have him introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Boog Kroll. I'm from Nixon, Missouri. The PBA has changed my life in so many ways, from working a desk job to now being the #1 seed here in Indiana.
Two-handed bowler, and a little deep in the pocket, and a tough leave already. 2-4-10.
Yeah, Boog coming up light there. You can see the two-handed delivery of Boog. Gets going, plants at the end. So much power coming out of Boog. Electing to throw urethane right now, which is interesting. We saw the other players throw reactive.
Just missed picking up that 10-pin.
So, did this all week. Let's fight for it. This is tight lane.
You can see here, Boog throwing the black pearl urethane, 5.0 hook rating. The weakest ball in his bag. It's not going to shape a whole lot. He's electing to throw a ball that he can really be aggressive with at the bottom, give him some control. I thought he was going to throw reactive and play more of a big hook like Marshall, but he must see something in this urethane ball that's making him feel comfortable.
And straight on the head pin there.
You're telling me. Fuck, Boog.
Leaving that right side, the 3-6-10, 3-6-9-10 actually.
Yeah, this is a tough spare. First time he's left this spare all week. And this is one of the hardest makeable spares for a bowler. It's hard to get that 9-pin in the back. You have to hit the 3-pin, the front pin just right.
He picks it up.
Big spare there for Boog. That gives him a little bit of confidence after not throwing the best shots his first two.
Dude, that first one just
He goes open spare to start. And again, Marshall started with a strike. Collecting himself before he heads back to the lane here.
Yeah, if you're Marshall, you saw the first 2 shots out of Boog. You see that he doesn't have great pocket control. You start this game with a strike. Second frame here, has a chance to start with a double. Really put the pressure on.
Right out to almost the 1 board.
Wow.
And a really tough spare to pick up here.
Yeah, as we see, Marshall actually has to drift around that ball return because he needs to get left and play so much angle. This ball just way out there by the gutter. But we've seen this pick today.
Yeah, we have.
It's possible.
2-8-10. They take the 2 and the 8 out, leave the 10. So an open frame for Marshall Kent.
You're set.
I asked Marshall, are you a cool bowler? When things get hot, do you keep a pretty level head? His response was, I'm as cool as a bonfire.
Yeah, Marshall's, and like we all have, we get out of whack at times when things aren't going right. Marshall can dial it in. I mean, he can strike with the absolute best of them. Now looking to rebound after an errant second frame.
Leaves a 7-pin.
Shot.
Yeah, it looks like he might be starting to lose his ball reaction. The last game, he was throwing this ball. It's a zero mercy solid, as we can see. This ball looked pretty good. Gets light in the pocket. That 7-pin on that lane's been tough to knock over, but he's throwing a really strong, aggressive ball. Other players were throwing weaker bowling balls. It gave him an advantage in the last game, but he might have to go to something different. Oh. Huge mistake there for Marshall in the third, missing the 7-pin. As we can see here, I mean, it looked like it moved a little bit.
Just nicked that 7-pin.
And a huge mental error, giving Boog a huge break early in this match.
Can he take advantage of it? The 8 falls, but the 2 stays. So now, both bowlers have been faced with adversity early.
It looks like we're starting to see a little bit of transition. Again, as these bowlers throw shots down the lane, that oil is constantly moving around. And we saw it this week where they can get really nice, really high scoring, very simple, but they can also get tricky at times.
That one will hook.
He talked it in there. Well, there's a smile. Boog's having a lot of fun. He's enjoying golf as well when he's not at the centers. Fast and Furious is a movie he loves. Kevin Williams, music artist, and winning that 2024 Delaware Classic. You know, by the way, Kevin, we found out in Born to Bowl, when he says he's an artist, he's actually a bowler. He was out here bowling with you this last week.
1, 2, go. PBA titleist, nonetheless. A Boog.
But we found out he's a rapper.
Yeah. K-Will.
And
dude,
very straight, hits the head
get
pin.
rid of it.
And 3-6-10 stays up for Boog Kroll.
Yeah, Boog just looking uncomfortable with this urethane ball. I think you heard him say he's got to get rid of it. I think, and I agree, I think he's got to get out of this ball. He's not able to hit the pocket. He's not sure what it's going to do when it leaves his hand. And when you're bowling for a title match and you're that uncomfortable, you have to try something else. But this is a bit of a spare picking contest, and this one isn't easy. 3-6-10.
Oh, and he leaves the 6-10. That silenced the crowd. They don't know how to respond.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a, here, you take it, you take it, you take it. A little back and forth here.
You guys copying each other?
Yeah. We're Team Hammer.
It's tour rep.
Yeah, it's got to be 20. I think it's going to be deeper. Shade deeper.
You guys got a fucking towel. I'm fucking sweating.
And Marshall, ball change on this right lane.
By the way, that's not a split because the one pin is still standing. Left the head pin.
Yep, the super washout. He's confused because he got this one to the spot down lane that he thinks it should hook from. Marshall has so much rev rate and power that he can generally get the ball to come back from anywhere, but that one did not react like he wanted it to. Thought that ball was going to do something different. Now, not a split, but a very difficult spare. You can actually pick this either way on the left side or right side of the head pin, but got to fit it in there.
Oh, and he misses the head pin. Just hits the 610.
Come on.
And so now another open frame.
These bowlers really getting tested in this championship match. It's not all about throwing strikes and 8-baggers and 300s, although we've seen that a lot in these championship matches. These lanes can get brutal and nasty. Now it's about digging deep, trusting yourself, making the right decisions, picking spares. And whoever's going to figure that out and execute is going to win this match.
Missed the head pin again. We saw Marshall go up against the #1 bowler in the world, E.J. Tacket,
one shot this game.
take him down. And now, when the title is on the line,
why can't you just commit to one shot?
Marshall has missed the head pin twice.
Yeah, for Marshall, this is becoming a mental battle with himself. He has to settle down. You hear him talking to himself, but the job is picking this spare right now because Boog isn't lined up either.
And he does pick up the spare.
And in a great sport.
Right now, picking up a spare is pretty impressive here in this final.
You know, Marshall there, you saw him kind of miss both ways. Missed.
Float it.
Right on the right lane, way left on the left lane. Show you this pattern is not easy.
It's like we never left. Yeah, raise them, come on.
There's the 5-pin. He asked everybody to raise their hands.
Like he never left. Boog known for throwing a couple Brooklyns on TV. Now, this 5-pin, not an easy one when you haven't had control of the pocket. Gonna throw his spare ball smartly at this spare.
Shaking his head. If you're not familiar with bowling, if you leave the 5-pin, that's why everyone has their hand up, showing 5 fingers. He does pick that one up. There's Hazel cheering him on. That's his wife. After the show, make sure to head to the PBA social media at PBA Tour for the Go Bowling post-game show presented by AMF.
Boog getting out of urethane, going to reactive. This is a track theorem. You hear him say float it, trust it. He's got to get to this ball to the right and trust that it's going to come back.
Head pin, and he gets a strike.
I've seen this story
left
before.
of the head pin.
I've seen this out of Boog before. When he starts carrying Brooklyns, it's not good. He didn't trust this one. This is such a huge break. A shot this errant really has a good chance to split and leave something that you can't spare. Instead, he walks out with a strike. And both players battling the same thing. They have to trust the ball to right with the right release, the right ball speed. Marshall still in this match, needs a strike here.
That is 3 frames in a row. He has not hit the head pin.
These angles that these bowlers have to create are so drastic. They can make it look easy at times, but it's not. And when your physical game just gets a little out of whack and things start, you know, especially mentally and adrenaline starts going, it's easy to throw these errant shots. Now, again, not an easy spare right here.
Leaves the 6-pin. Another open frame for Marshall Kent.
If you're Marsh here, I would look at probably taking a time. Yep.
All right.
Just got to commit.
He has decided to take a timeout.
Here if it goes in.
Yeah, very smartly here.
He's got to commit to
Rethinking
one
his
shot.
thoughts.
Come on, you got this.
You know, I know he's having a bad game, 69 in the 6th, but he's still very much in this. You know, Boog has a little bit of a lead, but he's also throwing some errant shots, does not have pocket control. So Marshall has to dig deep here, has to find it within himself, to reset. He's been able to do it all week. He's had a great week. He's thrown great shots when he needed it, but no other time than right now does he need to throw a great shot.
There's the strike. You mentioned all week Marshall Kent has been able to come up with what he needed. His worst game in qualifying was a 199. He had a 300 game in qualifying as well. A little different ball here and a strike.
Yeah, another ball change there for Marshall, going to the Pearl version of the ball he was thrown on that lane prior. Now Boog got lucky with the Brooklyn in the 6th, looking to capitalize and extend his lead in the 7th.
And that is a very tough split.
As a bowler, this is when you feel handcuffed. You missed left a couple of times. The ball goes running right, Brooklyn. You didn't trust it. You finally trust one. You get it out to the right, and it doesn't hook enough. 2-4-8-10. Now he's going to have to try to hit the left side of the 2-pin with a little bit of angle. The ball needs to hit the 2-4 and slide it over.
All right.
He might have just been going for count there. As we said, this is not over. That's why that strike in the 7th was huge for Marshall.
189 to 191
Commit to the process, Bug.
is their max.
I love this. These bowlers are being tested to the fullest. It's not always about striking. They're trying to make decisions right now on the fly. There's 10 frames. Every shot means so much.
What a show. Come on.
And Boog lost
Tuck the
as
pinky.
he's been more lost than he's been all week,
Jam
but
on
he
that thing.
still has the lead. You can hear him say tucking the pinky. He is going to give this one the absolute business.
Another split. 4, 7.
This is
4-6-7 split. Yeah, it's crazy. You can say it, Boog. This is crazy. So now,
brother.
are we going for pin count again?
Yeah, you're just going for 2 here. Not really able to make this spare. And especially with how ugly this match is, every pin is going to matter so much.
I mentioned Marshall Kent. His worst game in qualifying was a 199. His best was a 300. For Boog Kroll, his worst game was a 200. He bowled that twice, and a 290 was his best game. So both of these bowlers are struggling to find the pocket. Marshall Kent has been struggling to find the head pin.
Yeah, this right lane, he's just throwing some errant shots, going to the same ball he threw in the left lane. Zero Mercy Pearl, looking to throw with the biggest double of the day.
And the messenger picks up the 10. Marshall Kent, 1 frame closer to his 8th title.
What a messenger here for Marshall. Dials it in when he needed it most. Head pin off the, oh, not even the head pin. It deflects into another pin and smashes the 10.
Called for a re-rack. He's 2 frames away. 2 frames away from his 8th title. Another deep breath for Marshall Kent. Marshall's focus went to making the shot as opposed to the results. Let's see if he can make the shot right here. A big strike for Marshall Kent.
Right bounce back. Right, let's go.
What a few shots here for Marshall. I mean, when he needs it, when he's uncomfortable.
Yes! Come on! Way bounce back.
I mean, that is how you dig deep as a professional bowler. Boog here, still not out of it.
The only thing he can do is strike out.
Yeah, Boog is in a situation where it's strike or go home.
And he leaves the 10 pin.
Really a good shot there for Boog. You know, he's uncomfortable, didn't have good control of the pocket, throws the urethane, just trying to get something close, finds the pocket there, unfortunately leaves the 10 pin in what was really a must-strike situation.
He'll get the spare. And now if he strikes out, he's at 160.
Can I do timeout, Tony? Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, taking a
Okay.
timeout here, collecting his thoughts.
Good idea.
Think one more good shot?
Yeah. All you can ask for.
He fills all three in the 10th here. He gets to 160, which is going to force Marshall to mark. And with the shots that we've seen today, it's still not an easy task with how ugly this title match has gotten.
We've seen Boog Kroll smile. We have seen a smile out of him. Yesterday when we talked to him, he was all smiles. A lot of things have changed in his career since he's been on the PBA. And he's got the split here.
479
split. 479 split.
Just gift wrapping it.
But when we talked to Boog yesterday, saw a little grin there. He said when he started out, he was staying in hotel rooms by himself, and then he realized that wasn't good mentally for him. He didn't want to be on his own.
Brooklyn.
He wanted to be with people. So he reached out to Kevin Williams, said, Kevin, you know, you guys are staying at Airbnbs. Can I stay with you? Misses the spare there. Kevin said yes. Now he's got a group of about 6 to 12 that they stay together. And mentally, he says he's a lot better off. He told us yesterday, hey, man, the worst I can do is second. That's pretty darn good.
I can't even count that low. I don't even know what the score is.
Marshall's trying to figure out what the score is.
Yeah, Boog, great guy, great individual. Love to see him bowl well. Got a little lost today, but he is on the right track. Finished 6th last week in Decatur, 2nd this week, going into the Masters. That's a huge confidence. But Marshall, man, I bet if you asked him in the 6th frame if he was going to win today.
He's a title closer, by the way, to the Hall of Fame. And that was a big thing for Marshall Kent. If you can get to 10 titles, you're eligible for the Hall of Fame. And now he is at 8. 8 tour titles for Marshall Kent as he hoists that Indiana Classic trophy. All smiles for that man. Our tour coverage, powered by Go Bowling, continues next Sunday. The USBC Masters. You have been watching the PBA on the CW. We'll see you next week. Marshall Kent wins the Indiana Classic.
It's so good to be back.